Imagine that one day there is a court of cats. You're standing in the defendant's box, and below are all those golden eyes that once slept on your chest. The charges are read out in brief. Scaring your cat just to film funny clips, forcing them to eat vegan food in the name of ethics, letting them have one litter so their life feels complete, cutting off their claws to save the furniture, choosing short-legged, flat-faced breeds simply because they look cute. All those things humans call normal, cute, and civilized, when translated into your cat's body language and nervous system, become pain and fear that can never be explained. This video isn't here to condemn you. It's here to make you ask yourself one very hard question. Do I really love my cat, or am I making my cat pay the price for my own feelings and beliefs? Number 1. It's just a joke in your head, but a real nightmare in your cat's brain. Picture a very familiar scene. You place a cucumber behind your cat, hide the camera, and call them to turn around. In a single frame, the cat jumps up, eyes wide, body arched like a spring, paws slipping and stumbling. Everyone in the house bursts out laughing, commenting, "Oh my God, look how adorably terrified he is." The clip gets a few thousand, maybe tens of thousands of views. You turn off the camera and consider it done. But for your cat's brain, it's never done. In the few seconds you're laughing, their nervous system switches straight into emergency mode. The heart races, muscles tighten, cortisol spikes, and every sense records one single message. Right here in my own home, right next to the person I thought was safe, there are still things that suddenly jump out to threaten me, and I can't predict them. The next time your cat walks past that corner, they'll move more slowly, ears constantly swiveling, eyes scanning the floor, waiting for something bad to appear from behind again. Cats are predators, but at the same time, they're also easy prey. Their instincts are very clear. Anything that suddenly appears behind them, shouts loudly by their ear, grabs them tightly from above, yanks their tail, throws a blanket over them, or locks them in a dark room, all of that is a signal of danger. Number 2, putting your cat on a vegan diet when your good intentions crash straight into the biology of an obligate carnivore. Let's go back to the cat court. A defendant confidently steps up and says, "I love animals so much that I quit meat completely. I even put my cat on a vegan diet with me to keep our karma clean. I read a lot of groups. People say vegan cats still live normally. Their fur is even shinier. I'm doing it for ethics." It sounds beautiful. The problem is, your cat's body was never invited to that ethics meeting. It was born with a digestive system, a liver, and a brain programmed for meat. Not because it's evil, but because it's an obligate carnivore, a species that must eat meat. Inside a cat's body is a long list of things it cannot synthesize on its own, or only synthesizes very poorly, so it has to get them directly from animal tissue. Taurine for the eyes and heart, certain fatty acids found only in animal fat, preformed vitamin A, B12, niacin. For humans, our bodies can improvise with plants plus supplements. For cats, if you say, "No, from now on, you only get beans, brown rice, veggies, and plant-based kibble," you're asking an engine designed to burn gasoline to run on plain water. The cruel part is this: your cat doesn't collapse in one day to prove you wrong. It still eats, still runs around. Its coat might even look shiny if the diet is cleverly mixed. But underneath, long-term taurine deficiency can weaken the heart, slowly damage the eyes, wear down the immune system, and waste muscle. Lacking other nutrients, the liver, kidneys, nervous system, and hormones all have to strain to compensate. You see a healthy little vegan cat living on love and veggies, while its body is quietly paying off a debt it never agreed to. Some people will ask, "But I'm vegan because I don't want another animal to die. So does that mean I have to let another animal die to feed my cat?" The answer is hard to swallow, but it needs to be said plainly. Your cat never asked to be born and turned into your pet. Once you choose to live with an obligate carnivore, your responsibility is to respect its biology. If you cannot accept that another animal must die to feed a carnivorous species, the more ethical choice is not to keep that species at all, rather than forcing it to live against its own body just to fit your value system. If you're already feeding your cat a vegan diet, or thinking about it because you saw a few success stories online, the kindest thing you can do right now is stop. Say a small "I'm sorry" and work with a veterinarian to rebuild a species-appropriate diet. Maybe a complete commercial food, maybe a correctly designed home-cooked or raw diet. And if you still want to stay fully vegan in your own lifestyle, consider a different companion animal that isn't an obligate carnivore. That's the only way to be truly consistent in your love for both animals and your beliefs. A cat will never drag you to court for feeding it vegan. It will just quietly grow weaker, more tired, breathe heavier, and need more vet visits, while you still genuinely believe you're being a kind animal lover. Number 3. Let her be a mother once, so her life as a cat is complete. It sounds very humane, but let's ask directly, does that sentence come from the cat's needs or from your human emotions? For a female cat, being a mother is not a romantic dream like in the movies. It's a very specific combo package: pregnancy, hormonal changes, risk of miscarriage, difficult labor, infection, exhaustion from nursing, and very soon after that, another heat cycle and another possible pregnancy if she's not carefully protected. That tiny body never sits down at a table and says, "I want to experience motherhood once so my life is complete." She is simply following the reproductive program written by nature. You are the one deciding the entire context around it, whether she gets pregnant or not, where she gives birth, who takes responsibility for the kittens, and whether she gets spayed afterward. When you let her have one litter so she'll know what it's like, what you're really adding for her is one more C-section if there are complications, one more round of risk for uterine infection, uterine prolapse, and postnatal calcium deficiency, and one huge stress event for the mother cat if the kittens are separated too soon or don't find good homes. In return, what you mostly get is the feeling that you didn't rob her of her natural role as a mother. To put it bluntly, your cat pays with her body, you get rewarded with your feelings. Modern veterinary science has shown quite clearly, spaying at the right time, as advised by a vet, case by case, greatly reduces the risk of several serious diseases in female cats, from memory tumors to pyometra, reduces stress from heat cycles, and lowers the risk of roaming to find mates and then getting lost, injured, or hit by a car. It does not turn your cat into an empty shell that can no longer love. It simply turns off a reproductive cycle that in our human environment, we cannot keep safe the way nature might. If you truly love a female cat, the real question should be, will this pregnancy make her healthier and safer, or does it just make me feel less guilty? A cat does not need to be a mother to have a complete life as a cat. She needs a body with fewer diseases and a guardian brave enough to say, "No, I will not make her pay with her uterus, blood, and milk just to ease the pretty story in my own head."
Number 4. Declawing, saving the sofa or cutting off part of your cat's body. If there is one civilized crime that looks smallest on the surface but has the longest lasting consequences, it's declawing. On the outside, it's sold to cat guardians with a very reasonable sounding line. We're just cutting the claws a bit deeper so they won't scratch the furniture or hurt anyone. It sounds like a slightly more intense nail trim, but if you zoom in on an X-ray of a cat's paw, you'll see a truth that's much harder to swallow. A cat's claw is not a little accessory stuck on the outside. It grows from the very last bone of each toe. Declawing is not cutting the claws shorter, it's cutting off that entire bone. To put it in human terms, It's like chopping off the tip of each of your fingers at the first joint on all 10 fingers. A cat walks out of surgery with paws that are no longer intact, but because it can't speak, the whole thing gets labeled. She's finished her safe declaw procedure and will now live peacefully with the sofa. The body is not that polite. It reacts immediately. Every step from that moment on happens on a completely altered structure without its natural support points. The cat has to change how it places its feet, shifting weight onto other parts of the paw, the wrist, the knees, the spine. In the short term, many cats are in so much pain they avoid the litter box because every grain of litter feels like a stab. So they start peeing on the sofa, the carpet, the very things people wanted to protect. In the long term, the altered gait and shifted weight can turn into chronic joint and back pain, along with irritability, more growling, and more biting. You think you've made her calmer, but in reality, you've turned her into a body that always hurts a little in ways no one can see. And don't forget, cats defend themselves with their claws first. Teeth are the last resort. When you take away their claws, you take away their ability to give a light warning. A cat that used to just raise a paw to swat the air or scratch lightly to say, "That's enough," will, when cornered, be left with one tool only: biting. Lots of people complain that after declawing, she got mean, and then turn around and resent the very cat whose toes they had amputated as if the problem were her personality and not the surgery she never agreed to. All of this happens because humans want to solve a very small problem: how to keep a cat, keep the house intact, and avoid having to learn how to teach the cat where to scratch, how to trim claws properly, and how to set up scratching posts in the right places. Declawing is the perfect shortcut for humans, and a long, steep downhill slide for the cat's body and mind. If you live somewhere declawing is still legal, or have ever thought, maybe I'll do it someday, it's just easier, pause for a moment and ask yourself, do I really need to chop off the tips of every finger of a living creature just to save a few pieces of furniture when there are so many less cruel options? And if you're already living with a cat who was declawed in the past, the kindest thing you can do now is learn how to care for a special body. Softer, more comfortable litter, safe flooring, gentle play, and close attention to any signs of chronic pain so you can get her checked early. She never had the chance to choose, but you still have the chance to rewrite the rest of her story.
Number 5. Munchkins, flat faces, and designer cats, when cute means hurts for life. Selling cuteness in the form of faulty genes is also a brutal kind of civilized crime we need to recognize. You see a tiny, short-legged munchkin waddling like a toy and your heart melts. You see an exotic with a flat face, huge eyes, a squashed little nose like a dumpling, softly wheezing in its sleep, and you think, oh my god, that's insanely cute, born to be the main character of TikTok. But if you take off the cute filter, most of those things are deliberately bred deformities. For Munchkins, those short legs are not an adorable chibi version. They are a sign of chondroplasia. The long bones don't grow normally. The cat's body still carries the brain and internal organs of a standard-sized cat, only the frame has been squeezed down. That means the spine, knees, and hips have to support a structure that isn't optimal, making back pain, joint degeneration, and limited mobility more likely. You see a cat swaggering cutely, while it may be learning how to live in a body that can never really run, climb, or leap the way its instincts tell it to. With flat-faced breeds like Persians or exotic short hairs, squashed nose, shortened skull, bulging eyes, a squashed little nose like a dumpling, softly wheezing in its sleep, and you think, oh my god, that's insanely cute, born to be the main character of TikTok. But if you take off the cute filter, most of those things are deliberately bred deformities. With flat-faced breeds like Persians or exotic short hairs, squashed nose, shortened skull, bulging eyes, a squashed little nose like a dumpling, softly wheezing in its sleep, and you think, oh my god, that's insanely cute, born to be the main character of TikTok. But if you take off the cute filter, most of those things are deliberately bred deformities. With flat-faced breeds like Persians or exotic shorthairs, squashed nose, shortened skull, bulging eyes, and a squashed little nose like a dumpling, the upper airway is compressed. That little snoring sound you hear when they sleep isn't cute snoring. It's air struggling to move through narrow nasal passages, a tight throat, and excess soft tissue. Many of these cats have trouble breathing in hot weather, have to stop playing after just a short time, and are prone to eye infections because the eyelids don't close properly, and easily develop dental issues because too many teeth are crammed into a very short jaw. You laugh because she snores like an old man, but be honest, a living creature that has to fight for every breath from birth to death, is that cute? Or is it tragedy wrapped in a round face? To make it worse, the market calls these inconveniences rare traits, hot breeds, exclusive lines. Prices are pushed up, and every time someone pulls out their wallet for a designer body, they're unknowingly voting to spread those problematic genes for a few more generations. Then, when the cat grows up and needs frequent vet visits for eyes, nose, and joints, people complain. This breed is so unfortunate, weak, and expensive to care for. In reality, the truly unfortunate one is the cat. It never chose its parents, never signed a contract saying, I agree to 15 years of breathing and pain problems in exchange for internet fame. Here's what matters. The cats already born with unusual bodies are not at fault. If you're living with a munchkin, a flat-faced cat, a hairless cat, loving them truly doesn't mean sitting there beating yourself up. It means accepting that you are caring for a special body, choosing less slippery flooring, giving rest breaks during play, closely monitoring their breathing, scheduling checkups earlier and more often, and not forcing them to climb beyond their limits, not making them act healthy just to please your eyes. But at the same time, we still have to dare ask one uncomfortable question. Am I going to keep spending money on breeds built on genetic disease just because they match my aesthetic? Because every time you decide, I'll order a Munchkin so I'm not left out, every time you encourage someone else to buy one, it's totally worth it. You're not just buying a cat. You're buying into the decision to create more bodies that will pay with years of dull, persistent pain in exchange for a few seconds of heart-melting cuteness on a screen. A cat will never stand in the middle of the living room and say, next time, please give me a nose that breathes easier, a leg that hurts less. I don't need a dull face. It just breathes faster whenever it's hot, lies still more often when its joints ache, and silently endures every time its guardian says, oh my god, you're so cute, it's almost pitiful. The rest, whether we keep mass-producing cuteness or choose to support healthier bodies instead, is entirely up to humans.
If one day there really were a court of cats, chances are none of us would walk away completely acquitted. Anyone who has lived with cats long enough has made mistakes, scaring them just for fun, holding them too tight, yelling, believing advice like, let her have one litter so her life as a cat is complete, laughing at a short-legged, flat-faced kitten without thinking any further than that. None of that makes you a bad person. It only proves one thing. Loving a species does not automatically mean you understand and respect its biology. The important question is no longer, how many times have I messed up, but from today on, am I willing to stop, relearn, and make things right? Stop filming funny pranks that startle your cat for a few cheap views. Stop turning their body into a testing ground for ethical food trends that go against their biology. Stop making their uterus pay the price for a sacred motherhood story they never asked for. Stop treating amputating toe tips and breeding genetic diseases as normal in the cat fancy world. You can't turn back time, but you can do something incredibly powerful.
refuse to keep normalizing these civilized crimes, starting in your own home with a cat curled up asleep on your sofa right now. Learn to play without scaring, to correct behavior without harming, to choose nutrition based on the real body in front of you instead of a pretty ideal, to support ethical breeders or adopt instead of chasing designer models. If you've watched this far, I believe you're the kind of person who is willing to examine yourself for the sake of a creature that can't speak human language. Hit like if you want more people to hear the cat side of the story. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with anyone who is living with a cat or about to adopt one. Because sometimes just revisiting your choices today can save an entire childhood, even an entire lifetime for them.